Okay, welcome back to Psychology of Golf, the YouTube channel. Mark P. Otten from Cal State Northridge, back with you for unofficially, Season 2. I say unofficially because I never really intended to have seasons for this channel, but I took some time off from the channel during the 23-24 school year. I was playing golf. I got some new golf clubs, which we'll talk about in a little bit here. But this is our first round of filming for the year 2024. Today we are at Wood Ranch Golf Course in Simi Valley, California, a private course. How did I get access to film there? Well, I just emailed ahead to Jordan. Thanks to the assistant golf pro, Jordan, for the access for the day. The channel, it was going to feature a couple of new graphics, and I've streamlined the format a little bit. I'm still going to talk about a fear rating and a fun rating for each hole. The fear rating is like, how challenging was this hole? For me at Wood Ranch, this was a first impression. I'd never played the course before, so I was excited, but all of my ratings are based on first impression. So if you're a member, if you are someone who's played the course before, let me know in the comments, reach out, tell me where I'm wrong. But I have a challenge rating, which is the fear rating, and then I have a fun rating, which is how fun each hole was. And so theoretically, for sports psychology, if the hole is fun, that should inspire you to play better, enjoy it more, all of the things that you want on a golf course. If the hole is challenging, well, you got to hope that it's a little bit fun too, because otherwise you're maybe going to hit the ball in the water, as I did on this course at least once. Oops. If you're trying to play Wood Ranch Golf Course, I mean, you could stop by. They might let you, I mean, it seemed like a friendly place. They might show you around as a prospective member. I also recommend greenskeeper.org. That's a website that features events throughout the year where you can go be a member for a day, and I think they do some events at Wood Ranch, so go check that out. Okay, so my first impressions of the course, I was thinking the grass is always greener. It seems like at a private course. Well, it is literally greener, it seems like, at Wood Ranch. The course condition is very good. And the challenge to it was like subtle, but by the end of the course, I was like, okay, yeah, now I know why this rating is slope 135. And I was being ambitious to play the blue tees, but I was like, 6,500 yards with my new driver. I can hit it that far. I'm good. And well, distance was not the primary issue for me on this day. There were other issues though. So let's get into it. Okay, the first hole, par 4, turns to the right. This is a dog leg, and I took a very aggressive line with this first shot of the day by accident. I did not mean to hit it that far right. But it turned out perfect. So, you know, a little bit of luck to start the day. Handicap 3, fear rating 3 on this hole. And I gave it a 3 on that fear rating, mostly because of that blind kind of dog leg to the right. I ended up with a chance for par here. Fun rating 5. It is a good look coming down the hill. I was so excited to play Wood Ranch. That chip was not what I wanted though. So a very strong opening hole here. You can see right away also the greens are in great condition. They're rolling very smoothly. There's a good amount of nature back there too. I'm going to start with a bogey here. Okay. Second hole, par 5, fear rating 2. This was another excellent tee shot. Why a fear rating 2? Well, it's a narrow fairway, and I hit the narrow fairway, but my money would not be on hitting it again next time. And it kind of slopes off to the left there, and then you got this creek to clear. You're going to see this creek a few times. I hit a pretty good shot. I thought it was better than it was because it ended up in this junk. And then this shot, it actually went to the right of the tree and then trickled across the cart path right there and then back down. I don't recommend hitting it up on that hill. So now I'm still off the green for birdie. Fun rating 3. This hole has a lot of variety between that narrow fairway, those bunkers, the hill on the right side, the creek running through the middle. Lots of intrigue here on hole number 2. And do I save par? Do I do it? Oh, so close. Okay, bogey start, but good drives. I'm staying in the fairway so far. Can't complain. Fun holes too. Hole number 3, par 3. This one didn't scare me as much, but maybe it's because I didn't see the water on the left side of the green there. I don't know. It seemed like it was a little bit behind the bunker. I went right, but not too far right. Fun rating 17. I don't know. Just didn't stand out as much as some of the other par 3s to me.
You can stay if you want. Come closer.
As I get ready to try to make my first par of the day here. It was 162 yards from the blue tees, so also not super lengthy. It's great weather out there in Simi Valley. This course is kind of in between Simi Valley, Thousand Oaks, and Moore Park. If you've been to this part of the area, Southern California, Ventura County, there's a lot of golf courses, a lot of options in that area. But Wood Ranch definitely stands out for the quality of the greens, fairways, the tee boxes. Everything is in great condition. I think I drained this par putt. Yes, I did. First par of the day. Let's go. Okay, par 4. 4th hole. This one I took on the bunker. There's a bunker down there on the right side. I was like, I can clear that thing and bounce into the fairway. Well, I cleared it, but I did not bounce into the fairway. Fun rating 9. There's a pretty good amount of variety on this hole as well. Fear rating 16, just because I saw that bunker and I just felt like I could get it up and over, and I pretty much did. So this hole, another one with options. You can kind of go at it more directly on the right side or not. Hey, another par, up and down. Okay, so I'm off to a pretty good start here, and I wanted to talk about my new golf clubs. Okay, so I got new golf clubs back in January. This is now June 2024. So I've had 6 months to get used to them and reflect on their value, and also compare the value of getting new clubs to the value of working on other things, including your mental game, sports psychology, and the value of that in golf. So my short answer, what's the most important thing? The shortest answer I can give is sports psychology still. It's not about the equipment. It's about what's in your head. So for example, if you sat down and you're like, okay, what are all the things that I do well on the golf course? Rank order the top 5 skills in your golf game that you like, that you're confident in. And then you make a plan like, okay, what happens if I struggle? What happens if I get in this situation or that situation? Do some mental planning, and then draw on your sources of confidence and make a game plan for that. Do some goal setting. That's a good start for the mental game training for you on the golf course. I think that's all more important than using new equipment. However, there is some research that says new equipment is also very, as you might expect, very useful. For me, it had been 15 years since I had bought new woods and irons. I was using an old Wilson Pro Staff set. And so when I got my new driver, it was like substantially larger than the old driver. And it's added about 15, 20 yards to my drives. That's useful. Is it easier to control? Probably not, but it's not worse either. So it's been a little bit of a help for me. The irons that I bought, by the way, I bought a Callaway Maverick driver from about 4 years ago, and a new set of irons from Adams. And I was trying to save some money, but I was also trying to upgrade. And given that my old clubs were 15 years old. The new irons have also been useful. Like I'm hitting my 7-iron approximately as far as my old 6-iron used to go. That's been nice. That kind of incremental distance help on my irons. Are they more forgiving? Yeah, probably a little bit. I think the biggest thing, and I'm going to show you this research study, the biggest thing for me in getting new clubs was that I went to Roger Dunn Golf Shop, the one in Monrovia, thanks to Chris, who was my club fitter. And it was the first time I'd ever gotten fit for new golf clubs. And so he really worked with me for multiple days, trying out different clubs and talking to me about my swing. And I made a number of minor adjustments to my swing that it was like I was getting a free lesson at the same time I was getting new clubs. And I think that was actually more valuable, if anything, than getting new clubs. That's a great source of confidence. I've been working on my swing. I've been working on my mechanics, and that's going to help me mentally. Now, is it more important to work on your swing mechanics, or is it more important to go back to just generally confidence training, goal setting, things that I was talking about at the beginning here of this little sports psych interlude? I think it's still more important to work on your mental game. So I would say mental game number 1, maybe swing mechanics, taking a lesson, like that's maybe 1B or number 2. And then number 3 is getting new equipment. So that would be my rank order. New equipment, of course, can be expensive. So should you hold off? Well, if your clubs are 15 years old, you should not hold off. And you're serious about wanting to try to improve your game, I think you should get new clubs. But you can try to save money. You don't necessarily have to get the top of the line stuff, especially the stuff that's built for professional players. All that said, this research study said that custom club fitting, which is what I did, does improve the characteristics of the golf swing. Typically, that's what happened for me. Although often in different ways depending on the skill level of the player. So this was a cool study because it gave they had 2 conditions, and one was like the new clubs and the other was like a placebo. They gave people clubs that the people thought were new clubs, but they actually weren't, or they weren't fitted, to see if there was a difference. And there was. So even though people thought they were using the new clubs and it was just this like random other set of clubs, the new clubs were more useful. So it kind of showed that above and beyond the psychology, the expectations that might come with using new clubs, it seemed to be useful. However, the way that it was useful was that the golf swing of the golfer improved a little bit more than the actual clubs, in this case, helping specifically. So, yes, you should get new clubs if they're old. If they're just a couple of years old, or you just don't like them, maybe go take a lesson, maybe work on the mental side of things, and maybe it'll come around. So that's my advice for that. Okay, back to the course. Okay, we're back to hole 5 here. I've got my brand new driver. Well, it's not brand new anymore. My new driver. Handicap 1. This hole gets 408 yards and pretty narrow. Fear for me was 7 because I felt like I could hit this fairway. Maybe it was just because I was off to a good start with the driver. Fun rating 10. There's that creek again. So again, some variety here. A narrow tee shot and a nice looking bridge there going over the creek. A green in regulation for me, which is nice. Always nice. Left my birdie putt a little bit short. That's not always nice, but this is this might be makeable. I can talk a little bit about my journey with my new clubs. I mean, I don't feel like they're new anymore. For me specifically, it has been useful, like I said, but I don't know. Like my scores have been slightly better. Hey, there's a par. Okay. +2 through 5, that's a good start for me. I'm an 8 handicap at this point, by the way, with my golf game. Okay, hole number 6, par 5. I'm going way right here, but it does open up over there. I was not too scared. Fear rating 14. Well, I didn't know that I was going to go into this bunker. And that shot came out a little bit chunky. Back to the fairway though, I think. Yep. And I've got an outside chance of reaching the green with the third shot. Pretty good 3-wood. My new 3-wood is a lot better than my old 3-wood was. I'll say that. Right out of the gate, like right when I first got it, it started out like there was very little learning curve for me, it seemed like, with that club. So that was nice. All right, so I chipped up here. You saw there's some out of bounds on the left in this hole. Overall, I think this hole is gettable. I just didn't quite make my par there because I had trouble getting out of that right side bunker. All right, speaking of bunkers, hole number 7. I hit the ground behind the ball on this par 3. I went into this scary looking bunker. Oh, this was the first real tough hole of the day for me. That ball hit the lip of the bunker and came back and almost hit me. Oh, man. I give this hole a fear rating of 4. It's only 161 yards. But it's uphill and that bunker was just staring right at me and I went right in it. So it's a big one, deep one, downhill from the green. Fun rating 18. I think I was just annoyed that I hit the ball into the bunker here. But yeah, I guess there's a little bit less variety on this hole than some of the others. This was actually a nice putt to save double bogey. Sometimes the best putts of the day are the ones to save bogey or double bogey. All right, this hole, fun rating 2, hole 8, huge drop off and elevation. And you could actually go for the green if you were feeling ambitious. It's only 326 yards and way down the hill. But there's a water hazard right there too. So I just went left and I hit a pretty decent shot to the back of the green here. So I played it safe. I think I hit 3-wood off the tee there as well. This turned out to be a difficult 2-putt. Fear rating 6 because of that water hazard. And also, I mean, there's a coyote over there.
He's a fan of golf.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out if we should do something. Is the coyote's looking at me while I'm putting? I don't think that contributed to my fear rating of 6. That was mostly due to the water hazard and the look of this hole. Coming off the tee box with the elevation drop and everything. But it just looked really cool, and I was really tempted to hit one just for practice off the tee way over to the right to see if it would bound down the hill toward the green. I don't think it would have worked, but okay. Well, that was a 3-putt. Difficult 2-putt, admittedly, especially with the coyote staring at me. But on to hole 9. Hole 9, it's a curve right to left and a little bit uphill. Handicap 5, fear rating 8. So challenging. I went off to the right here and I actually had to wait until the guys playing, I think it was the first hole, they teed off. I ended up with a good lie though, apart from the trees. And this putt, okay, so I was on top of the green here again, the backside. This putt is just going to roll forever. I did not realize, I mean, I thought it was downhill. I'd like to play this hole over again because I did not realize that putt was just going to roll all the way close to the front of the green, leaving me with another extremely difficult 2-putt. Yeah. I was like, well, if I played this hole over again, maybe I'd try to leave it below the hole, you know, so I didn't have to hit that thing so delicately down the hill. So fear rating 8, partially I think here comes from the fact that this green just got me. That was actually a good effort there. It's like an attempt to save par, but a couple of 3-putts to close out the front 9, but they were difficult. So I will give myself a little credit. Okay, the back nine. We have hole 16 to look forward to. That is fun rating 1. And some par 4s to start out. I was feeling okay at this point. I was like, all right, plus 7 through 9. That's like not great for me, not bad. Let's get it on the back 9. I was feeling excited to try to take on this handicap 2 with the water down the left side. The water, to me, on this hole felt like it wasn't super present. It wasn't getting in my my field of vision too much. So again, this hole didn't scare me that much. Fear rating 11, fun rating 11, middle of the pack. But look at all that water on the course diagram on the right side there. I mean, that's a lot of danger. It's just not real, like, close. I felt like to my field of vision. Oh, okay, I'm gonna miss this putt. Yeah. I think with the 3 putts that I had on 8 and 9, my putter had gone cold and it was in my head a little bit. But I was still driving the ball pretty well, at least to this point. Knock on wood. That's a good drive on 11. Handicap 8, fear rating 13, fun rating 13 for this hole. Did not stand out to me among some of the others. Instead of a creek going across, you've got the cart path there. Merely. And I've got a chance for birdie. Is that going to go in? No, it's not going to go in. But that's a good hole for me. And a short par putt coming up. Didn't start out the back 9 with a lot of fear or perceiving a lot of challenge compared to a couple of those front 9 holes. And that included this par 4 12th. Another decent drive for me. The driver was okay. Again, knocking on wood to this point. Fear rating 17. I was not thinking that this hole was going to be the cause of my problems, but well, that approach shot came up short, the 6-iron here. And then, I hit a decent chip, but I took a pretty big chance trying to like fly it inches over the bunker, and I ended up hitting the lip and bouncing back into the bunker. That was actually a good bunker shot just now. But are those people in the back, are they walking on water? Like, I'm making double bogey here, but like, it looks like there's a water hazard. The people are walking on the water. Yeah, that was a double bogey. Okay, well, let's talk about expectations next. Okay, expectations in sports psychology. Let's just start out with where I'm at here with the round at Wood Ranch. I'm now 10 over par through 12 holes, and I'm an 8 handicap. For me, usually in my head before a round, I'm like, if I can break 80, that would be great. If I can shoot 79. So right now, like, I'm plus 10, and so if I make par the rest of the way, I'm at 82, which would be fine. But a 79 is pretty much out of the question now. And I kind of like, I like to keep score, first of all. I shouldn't say I'm competitive, but I'm achievement oriented. I like to play golf to try to do well. And so if I've defined doing well as a 79, and now it's kind of out of the question, now I've got 6 holes where I'm like trying to save some other score that I'm like slightly disappointed in. And so you're going to see like my motivation has been impacted, especially like holes 13 and 14 are going to be rough. Disclaimer. And I'm not saying it's completely because I have lost heart, but that's definitely a factor. And so if we talk about expectations, like I don't recommend having expectations when going on the golf course. And for me, like I want to keep score. I want to be clutch. Like I want to have a chance for a 79 going into 18, and then I play well on that last hole, and then I celebrate that achievement. Like I want all of that. But to expect to shoot a 79 is very different than to hope to shoot a 79. So I want to talk about Iga Swiatek, the current number one women's tennis player in the world. She's been working with a sports psychologist over the last several years, full time. And they talk about having low expectations and high standards. So for me, the high standard should be shooting a 79. But I should not go out there expecting to do it. And at Wood Ranch, like I was not trying to expect that. It was my first time playing the course. It's a difficult golf course with unknown challenges. But it creeps in for me, even a professional. I know I shouldn't, and yet I still do have expectations because I've been practicing a little bit. By the way, I had a really good driving range session at Wood Ranch before the round started, so that affected my expectations too. But it's a tricky thing to have high standards, like not be satisfied for me with a round of golf that's not my best, right? To strive for better. That's all part of having high standards. But to go out there and expect it to happen every time is another thing. And so for me, I recommend leaving expectations at home and continuing going forward with the high standards, continuing going forward with enjoying the game. And Iga here, of course, she's number one in the world, so she has a different set of challenges about her tennis. But she said after a really great 2 weeks, my expectations went up again. And so it was like a circle. Then it's hard. It's hard to keep up with expectations, and actually impossible, right? You'd play well. Okay. Expectations go up. That's like a blessing and a curse at the same time. So again, stay out of those thoughts. Focus your thoughts more on enjoyment, on improvement, on achievement, if you want, and chill out if it doesn't go your way. And so anyway, even for me, at this point in the golf round, I was not chilling out because I was like, man, I want to do better, and that got in my head. So let's keep that in mind as we go into hole 13. All right, well, fear rating 1 on hole number 13. Dr. Otten, the professional sports psychologist, sees a big water hazard in front of this green on the par 3 and just hits it right into the water. The 6-iron did not get the job done there. And I would say I give this hole a fear rating of 1 because of that. This is me hitting from the drop area, missing the green because I'm all rattled. But the double bogey on the previous hole, hole 12, and those expectations I was just talking about being dashed, factored in. So for you, you might not be so scared or affected by that water hazard as I was. Fun rating 7. It's a great visual on this hole. A lot of blue and green, you contrast the water and the grass. But that was a triple bogey for me, unfortunately. So now I'm stuck in this frustration feeling. Fear 18 for hole number 14 here. So I should not have been struggling, at least theoretically, on this hole. There was room in the fairway. I did hit the fairway. But then my approach shot landed in this questionable rough, and then my green side chip fell short. So I was trying to get out of the feeling of a rough few holes here. This is a nice view looking back from the green on 14 as I make double bogey again. Ugh. Okay. It's time for better golf. I'm not that bad, you guys. And that's a good thought to have, actually. I'm not that bad. Because then you can pull yourself out of trouble. Tee shot here was actually a good tee shot. Went into the bunker though. Fear rating 15, fun rating 6. Hole number 15 has this nice dog leg downhill to the right. I did hit a very nice fairway bunker shot there. And this is an interesting looking green area with bunkers all around, small bunkers all around, and a hill on the left. So I managed to pull together a green in regulation here. I had a birdie putt. I did not make it, but at least I had a birdie putt. Yeah, if you look at the whole diagram there, it's like 7, 8 small bunkers around the green, plus that fairway bunker I was in. But there is room on this hole. It's downhill and a par 5. So if you have a little distance, you can make par, and I did. And now we've got fun rating number 1, hole number 16. Look at this massive view from the tee box. The hills of Simi Valley back there. Just a great view off of this hole. Wanted to spend some time there just looking back to the north. But alas, I had to keep moving. This was another hole I wanted to play again in the future, just for the visuals. Fear rating 9. So this one I was like, this is exciting, you know, to be out at Wood Ranch. Of course, I was still recovering from all of those over par holes, so I missed the green with my approach and had a tricky downhill. Oh, almost saved par. Doing a little better here. But yeah, hole 16, the visual off the tee, looking down, made me want to take pictures. So it's a fun hole. It's an opportunity for folks to really enjoy this course. Hole number 17, par 3, back up into the hill. My 5-wood kind of floated off to the right there. Fun rating 8, just because this is a nice look with the hill back there and the trees framing this hole. Fear rating 10, so this shouldn't have been that scary of a hole for me. This was my par putt. Come on, get down there. Trying to walk it in. No, not quite. But I think 16, 17, and 18, between the 3 of those holes, I would say that it's a nice finishing opportunity because there's just a lot of nice visuals. 16 with the huge elevation drop, 17 going back up into the hill, and then you're about to see 18. That was a bogey save. So I'm hanging in there with pars and bogeys now. Plus 17 overall after 17 holes. Not where I want to be, but for some of you, you're like, yeah, that's actually pretty good. So I don't know. Depends on who you are. Hole 18, par 5. I actually hit my tee shot into the fairway bunker with force, and it bounced out. And then I hit a nice second shot here to set up a short chip. Fun rating 4. There's water on the left on this hole, and so that's probably why I went to the right into the bunker. But there's, again, a lot of variety here. Kind of goes down and then up this hole. My birdie putt in front of the clubhouse with everybody watching. Well, I don't see anybody watching, but this is, again, a nice finishing hole. Fear rating 5 just because of that water hazard on the left and those bunkers on the right, requiring a bit of accuracy. There is a waterfall back there too on the left side of the green, as I recall. Okay, made par. Last hole of the day. I saved plus 17, which is nice to get under plus 18 and shoot an 89. Again, not my goal and not my expectation, but let's just stay away from expectations on the golf course. You know, like, let's just try to enjoy and achieve. And if it doesn't go your way, well, that's golf. That's what happens. So anyway, thanks again to Jordan, the assistant golf pro at Wood Ranch. I hope to come back and maybe shoot an 88 next time. But low expectations, of course. And I'm glad to be back to doing YouTube golf. There's another video coming soon, I promise. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things if you'd like. And I'll see you in the next one.